Have you ever felt stuck knowing you have potential but laziness keeps pulling you back? Today's story is about a boy just like that, lazy, yes, but also surprisingly clever. By the end of this story, we'll discover how even the laziest person can push beyond their limits and prove themselves when the time is right. But that's not all. As we listen to this inspiring tale, we'll also explore powerful English phrases and how to use them naturally in sentences. This way, we not only enjoy a meaningful story, we also improve our English in a fun and practical way. So stay with us till the very end, you won't want to miss it. Once in a quiet town surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a boy named Zayan. He was known by everyone, not for his strength or talent, but for how lazy he was. Zayan lived with his parents in a simple house at the edge of the village. Each morning, he would go with his father to the fields, but his job was always the easiest, scaring birds away from the crops. Most people used loud claps or moved around with sticks to keep the birds off. But Zayan didn't like moving. He preferred to stay in one spot, lying under the shade. So he came up with an idea. He placed sticks across the field and tied ropes between them. Then he attached small bells to the ropes. Whenever birds landed, the ropes moved, the bells rang, and the birds flew away. Zayan could nap while the field stayed protected. His father noticed this behavior and often worried silently. What if one day I fall sick? How will Zayan manage everything? He thought. But since the work got done, he didn't say much. Zayan's laziness seemed clever, but it was still laziness. One year, the village suffered from a terrible drought. The sun burned bright, and the crops cried for water. That's when Zayan's father fell seriously ill. He couldn't walk, let alone work. Suddenly, everything depended on Zayan. At first, Zayan tried his best. He woke up early, carried water, and checked the fields. But he wasn't used to real effort. He got tired quickly. Days passed, and the crops began to wither. Zayan could only watch as months of hard work started fading away. One night, he sat under the dark sky, defeated and frustrated. Why didn't I ever push myself? Why did I waste time being lazy? Now everything's slipping away, he whispered to himself. The very next morning, something unusual happened. Loud voices echoed through the village. Zayan followed the crowd and saw a royal messenger standing in the center. Hear this. A grand competition will be held at the king's palace. The winner shall receive a chest full of gold and the honor of being named a royal problem solver. People around him got excited, but Zayan stood still, thinking, if I win this, I can help my family. I can fix everything. Without telling anyone, he packed a small bag and left for the palace that very evening. The villagers were shocked. Zayan, competing? He won't even reach the gates, they mocked. But Zayan didn't care. Something inside him had changed. He had a reason now. After 3 days of travel, Zayan reached the palace grounds. Hundreds of people had gathered, strong, muscular, determined. Zayan felt nervous but stayed focused. The first challenge was announced. You must cross the wide lake. The first 3 to reach the other side will go to the final round. As the countdown began, 3, 2, 1, everyone jumped in and began swimming fiercely. Zayan took a deep breath, but didn't move. I can't outswim them, he thought. But I don't have to swim. He turned away from the lake and ran into the nearby woods. There, he found dry branches, vines, and leaves. Within minutes, he built a small raft. Using a large flat stick as a paddle, Zayan pushed his raft into the water and started moving. Slowly, silently, steadily. One by one, the swimmers began to slow down. Their energy faded. But Zayan kept paddling. He moved past one, then another, then another. Eventually, he reached the shore, 3rd place. Just in time. The crowd gasped. The boy who didn't even dive in was now a finalist. The next day, the final challenge awaited. This time, the task was different. Each contestant must push this heavy wooden block across a 1-kilometer path. Behind you are several tools. You may choose only one. The first finalist grabbed a rope and began dragging. The second used a metal rod as a lever. Zayan, once again, stood still. He looked at the tools, then at the block, and then, he smiled. He picked up a small carving knife. People started whispering, a knife? What will he do? Cut his way to victory. But Zayan knew exactly what he was doing. He sat beside the block and began carving. Bit by bit, edge by edge, he turned the square block into a large cylinder. Time passed. Sweat rolled down his face. But when he was done, he stood up, took a deep breath, and gave the new wooden wheel a push. It rolled, smoothly, quickly. While the others were still dragging and struggling, Zayan rolled his way forward. Faster and faster, his will picked up speed. He passed the second contestant, then the first. The crowd rose to their feet. Zayan crossed the finish line first. The entire field burst into applause. No one had believed in the lazy boy. But there he was victorious. This story teaches us something powerful. Even if laziness holds you back today, the right reason can push you to do the impossible tomorrow. Zayan didn't suddenly become strong overnight. But the moment he found a reason bigger than his excuses, everything changed. So if you ever feel stuck, tired, or unmotivated, ask yourself, what am I fighting for? Is it your family, your dreams, or proving to the world that you're capable of more? Remember, effort becomes easier when your goal is clear. And one more thing, we didn't just hear a story today. We practiced listening, learned new words, and trained our minds to think differently, in English and in life. So, don't stop here. Prove yourself, kill your laziness, and take one step today toward the person you know you can become.